and this is for everybody, it's okay not to know what your purpose in life is. It's okay. What's not okay is not trying to find out.
Yep.
It's okay if you don't know. That's totally fine. But it's a responsibility of us, of all of us, to at least do our very best to just lay there in the bed and close our eyes and just see what it might look like. And it might be black and you don't see anything for a while. But we just try.
Yep.
We just try.
What if I told you for $1, I will introduce you to hundreds of entrepreneurs every single morning this week? From all across the country, you'll be able to talk to hundreds of entrepreneurs, and I'll coach you. I'll coach you for $1 this whole week, and I'll introduce you to some of my successful friends for $1 this week. Would you take part in that? Well, go to themorningmeetup.com because that's exactly what we're doing here, okay? The only organization that gathers entrepreneurs every single day for the betterment of entrepreneurship, okay? Every single day, Monday through Friday, we gather, we're growing, we're learning. We got a book club. Have you ever seen hundreds of entrepreneurs reading the same book every single chapter, every single day? We're growing together, okay? You need the environment to grow in. Themorningmeetup.com, $1. I'm gonna give you all this for $1. If you wanna stay, great. It's $79 a month after that. If not, no obligation. You can leave whenever you want. All right? themorningmeetup.com. I'll see you in the morning.
Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast. Live from the Content Creation Bootcamp.
Definitely tried to play us a little bit. Definitely tried to play us.
I was wondering if we was lit.
Are we live or not?
We live right now, man. Just wrapped up another Content Creation Bootcamp, and it was absolutely amazing. So we decided, after we went through the podcasting blueprint, to actually just do a podcast live, and everybody's going to be in it. So
yeah,
this studio audience I don't know what's going on right now.
Y'all do know y'all are on camera too, right?
Right. If this was Oprah, you know what I mean? If this was Oprah, live, it's going crazy. It's all good. We're not Oprah yet.
But definitely understand that you are on camera.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
So we're going to get this thing going, but first, obviously, I got to ask how Donnie's week was, because I'm curious in the life of an entrepreneur, especially as we go for this 7-figure year.
Mm-hmm.
How was your week?
My week was actually awesome.
Well, first off, I don't like the way she talked about. I talked to y'all earlier. I ain't like that. What'd she say? She's like, if you got a 7-figure goal and your activity, something. What'd you say?
I don't know.
That joint was disrespectful. I was sitting there like, yo, why is she? I feel like I got to go up there and apologize for her. Like, I don't know why she said that.
But was it helpful? Yeah. Did you check yourself internally? Like, man, my goal really is 6 figures, but I've been doing 4-figure work. Yeah.
Goal is 6 figures, 4-figure work.
4-figure work.
What figure work did you do this?
I definitely did 7-figure work this week.
Off?
You should. It looks corny.
Looks corny?
Mm-hmm.
You know we're on camera, right? All right, cool.
Yep. So I did. Are we back to my week?
Yeah, we're back.
Definitely did 7-figure work this week. You know what I did this week that made me so happy?
What's that?
I hired Deja, my daughter. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep, I hired her for an important role in my company. So she used to work for me when she was smaller, when she was younger, rather, doing just like some soft data entry work. Mm-hmm. And then I had her, she helps out on client files, like for easy data entry. Mm-hmm. But I actually hired her for an important fulfillment role. And it just made total sense. It was like a full circle moment because I am focused on building legacy for her. And what better way, she's a sophomore in college, what better way than to start commingling her into that role than to bring her on and hire her.
And how much do you pay her?
None of your business. None of your business.
I feel like that'd be interested to know if you're going to come more flexing about, is it slave wages or is it like a real...
So I am not privy to share any of my team members' salaries. They'll have to share that with you. However, your girl just left Miami this weekend with her first pay. So I think she is getting paid handsomely.
So hold on, are you teaching her to get her paycheck and then go to Miami? Hold on, I'm trying to understand the parenting behind this. Are you teaching her? I killed all her little stunts just now. I'm sorry.
No.
So
no, that's good though. She works really hard and, they're quarantined. Well, they're still doing virtual school. So they don't get to do a whole lot of stuff. And for her birthday, I actually made her come here to Atlanta. Like, that's as far as you're going to travel. But now that she has a job and she's, creating her own income, she asked if she could go to Florida. And I'm like, yeah, go.
Nah, that's
It'll be
dope,
fun.
though. Especially because you bought her a car, but now she gets to be in the business working for what paid for that.
Exactly.
So not everybody has that opportunity. They grow up in a household where we've got to be at work by 9, or, mommy can't do it because I got to go to work.
Yeah.
But she's in a household where she gets to see the inner workings of the business. So,
and it's important too for me to put her in that role. And even though we do from home work, she has hours that she had, her SOPs, her standard operating procedures, force her to work within a given time frame, because to our kids, it can appear that we don't do much, or that we do whatever we want to do whenever we want to do it. And though that sounds good, that's not.
Or to our wife. I don't think my wife thinks I do anything.
I don't know.
I'm glad she came here to see it. You know what I mean?
Was she here today and I missed her?
Yeah, she came. Yeah, she pulled up.
Man.
No, she knows I work, but she just, I don't know if she don't know I work hard. She just think I could just come get the baby. I'm like, baby, I gotta work. Forget it, I'll do it myself. I'm like, dang, give me a minute. So I'm glad my wife, I'm gonna take my wife she's gonna just hang out with me one day and see the inner workings.
No, she doesn't want to hang out with you as a brand new newborn mom to see you work. She wants to hang out with you like in Dubai.
Clap for that. That's what we clapping for? And you gonna start the clap? All right, fine.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
No, but that's dope though.
Before I ask about your week, just real quick, you guys, housekeeping. Somebody with a phone, can everybody make sure your phones are on silent, please?
That's good.
I heard a couple of phones. I did. I heard a few phones. And if we can keep like the bags and the rattling down to a minimum, that would also be great.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys. Live studio audience. We didn't prepare them for that first. We should have definitely did that. But with that being said, Chance, how was your week?
My week was absolutely awesome. And if I'm being honest, I'm still off kind of from having my daughter, because over the last month, I didn't really do much.
Paternity leave.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out how to get my momentum back. Because I don't have it right. I'm in the house. Like, I be at the house with the baby. My dad, normally I'm more productive.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if maybe it's a good thing. I took off paternity leave and I'm not as active. But my fear is, because I understand how momentum works, even though it's for a good cause, I need to find that motivation, because I don't want to do nothing but go home and just play with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I got to figure out how to get that momentum back.
It's so interesting that you say that, because I haven't really felt like you actually took a break.
Really?
No.
When did we record?
Well, we haven't recorded.
Put your hand down. What are you
right?
About?
He's not taking a break. Right. I
have been taking off.
I think the day that she was born, and then the 24 hours after that, you took a break. But no, we've met. We've had business meetings.
We had one.
We had
in a month. We had one.
We had two.
One was
at Phipps, and then the other one was in Atlantic Station.
Atlantic Station.
Yard House.
It was 2 in 30 days.
We had 2 business meetings. We've done a couple of conference calls. You're still doing the morning meetup. Like, you haven't really taken a break. I want to talk about that, because you have a real obsession. And I think that there's a requirement for the level of success that you've reached to have an obsession about your business, running it, being in it. But you have an obsession where taking a break feels like punishment to you.
Is it like the alcoholic? Like, I don't drink that much.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I ain't had a drink in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We drank yesterday. Really?
We just had a sip.
Yeah. Well, maybe. You know what? I think, and this is good, I think we've been in it so long and working so long, and it becomes routine and habit. Internally, I don't feel like I'm being productive. But I think by habit, I just go through the day, do my calls, and I don't know if there's a difference between how I feel and what I'm actually getting done. So I felt like I haven't been getting done much. I haven't been as productive because I don't feel like internally I'm as, what's the word? As, somebody help me. Motivated. I'm not motivated to go to the next level and grind. And normally I would have the next boot camp scheduled, or I want to do this course and I'm just not super motivated because I know I'm going to have to be gone for my baby the whole day. And maybe it's just my activities are habitual, but I just don't feel the motivation. So maybe that's why it feels like that.
I think because you've been disconnected from podcasting, which is like your first business love.
Okay. Yeah,
you feel like you haven't been being productive, but as a businessman handling his business, you've not stopped.
Oh, well, give me a round of applause. That's good.
Actually, no, we're not going to applaud that because you need a break. You're a brand new father, and you've earned some time to just step away. Like, you've laid the foundation. You have an amazing team in place. You've got great business partners. People can handle, they can pick up the slack. And it's not slack because of the systems that are in place. You deserve some time. I'm calling Dre. I'm texting Dre right now.
No,
telling her.
But we can clap for the team, though. We can clap for that, though. That's good.
Definitely letting
By the
Dre
time
know.
I get home, the flights are booked. Dubai?
Yes.
Yeah, this is really a teachable moment, man. I feel like when y'all are in your grind, right? When you're actually working, does it feel like work? Do you celebrate the productivity? No? It don't feel like work like that for y'all?
Y'all can talk back.
Yeah. I think it's routine. But I think you have to get to a point where it doesn't feel like work. It's just routine.
Yeah.
But it's still productive.
Mm-hmm.
It's still growing. Okay, if you had, absolutely. I look at my Stripe account 12 times a day. How do we know if we're growing if we're not looking at the numbers? That's the only way I know like things haven't fallen off, because every day I'm looking at the numbers. How many days a week am I asking Trey and Jen, yo, what's the numbers on the morning meetup? How many people came in? How many people left? But because I'm not like, I feel like I haven't been pushing the morning meetup and I haven't been in the studio podcasting, and that's a part of me, I felt like I haven't been working. So that's my thing. I don't know. I need therapy, yo. I think. I haven't really. I haven't been. I only did it for a week. I was doing live. I didn't really get on live.
Then your 4-week vacation or your 4-week paternity leave, now 3 weeks because we've just validated that you've been on live.
Is that work though?
Yes, it is work.
24 hours in a day, I work for 3 hours. Is that I'm still working? I'm still in the grind?
You can't say that you are on vacation because your message. Yes, he can. I don't know who said that, but your message was that I'm going to be off for a month. Off is off. You showed up for work. Your work and your work schedule doesn't look like a typical 9 to 5, so you're justifying it, right? Because I just jumped on a live for a quick second. I just did a morning meetup for a quick minute. I just promoted this just one time. I just had a couple of meetings with Donni. You worked.
I don't know. Don't clap for that.
Athlete. You know, you haven't been able to unplug at all. So even 3 hours, you've still been locked in. So it's like a professional athlete during the off season. They don't feel like, or a retired professional athlete, like they don't feel like the same man when they're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So then sometimes it kind of feels like they're less of who they thought they were when they're live on stage. So
here's my question though for you all. Let's say for instance, I didn't do anything. Okay, I'm just there. The baby sleeps 20 hours a day, right? So obviously I'll, be with the baby. I'll be with my wife. My mother's at my house often. My mother-in-law kind of lives at our house. She came up from Florida for about 2 months now. In the event that I didn't do anything, I would be miserable.
Okay.
So that would feel like more work because I'm fighting against actually doing what I enjoy doing. So, for sure. But no, I felt like, but I'm saying if I'm taken away from it, it's almost like I'm not happy.
Yeah.
So that other people will say, all right, fine, you're relaxing. That's not relaxing for me. I'd be more uptight, actually. So when I unplug for too long, that's not relaxing. It doesn't feel like a reward.
So here's the thing. I'm not judging you because I'm the exact same way.
Judged.
I'm the exact same way. I'm the same person who created a whole business model with coronavirus. I couldn't take a break. But that's because we're very similar in a sense that we made our work our pastime as well, right?
What's pastime mean, actually? I heard it used before.
Pull your phone out.
Old people. You don't know?
No, I do know. It's like it's the equivalent of spare time, but I want us to get the actual definition of the word.
Pastime. Pastime. I like to look up words that I don't know, especially if I can catch Donni using a word she doesn't know.
Oh, it's
pastime.
game
Note
over.
the spelling with one is a hobby. Oh, a hobby.
Yeah, it's something that you do in your spare time. And while we're looking at that, if we can just check our phones one more time, just check the volume for me. Yeah. Please. Even if you think you turned it off. Mm-hmm. All right. So, you've made your work your pastime. And so have I. And I think that it's...
Oh, it was with the... Okay. Apple Watch. Leave him alone, Donni. Okay.
I just said... I know you just heard me say. For you guys who are watching on YouTube or listening, this is what we deal with when we bring a live audience in, which is why we empty the studio.
I like the energy.
When we're recording.
The energy here. Good.
Are we going to do... Because we've been trying to do live broadcasts. Are we going to do more of these?
Oh, we're going to travel.
Oh, yeah. We're going to travel for sure. But, would you guys like to come back and actually be a part of the conversation? Okay, cool stuff. So let me just say this. It's kind of like one of those things. Now, if I bring you into the mall, don't touch nothing. Don't ask for nothing. Right? So that means we're in this environment. We just, you know what I mean? Phones off. We've been having beef all day. We've been having beef all day. No, but I think it's okay for your business or your work to be your pastime as well, as long as it's healthy. The moment that you begin to feel overwhelmed, right, then the areas that you have to pull back on may be associated with business. And then, too, someone told me when I said that I'm not happy when I'm not working. I was invited on a vacation, and that person asked me if I could go 8 complete days without my laptop.
Oh.
Absolutely not. Nobody, you're not that fine.
Sounds like torture.
Absolute torture, right? And so we actually, we're not going on vacation. That's not going to work out to be a situation because they couldn't understand it. And I was sharing that story with somebody.
Hold on, you got a man?
No, I don't have a man. Somebody invited me to relax. I didn't accept. I mean, it wasn't going to work out, but I still received the invitation. But the question was framed as, can you go away for 8 days without your computer? Like, basically, we're not doing this if you can't. First of all, we're not a couple. So what I do in my room while you're in your room has nothing to do with you.
Okay, I get it.
Right?
I get it.
And so I didn't. So anyway, I was explaining that situation to someone else, and they said that I needed to figure out what I was running from that makes me feel like my business makes me happy. What am I substituting? What are you substituting? Why is it that we feel miserable when we're not working? What are we suppressing deep down inside? And I thought about it and I'm like, wow, that's powerful. I can't think of anything. I mean, other than the fact that I'm a single woman, but even when I wasn't a single woman, you know, I go hard. That's what I do.
Are we suppressing something as entrepreneurs if that's what we love to do? That's an interesting perspective, but it's from the perspective of someone who doesn't understand probably something that they've never fallen in love with. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it'd be a good comparison, but it's like falling in love with somebody. Could you go 8 days without the person? without wanting to call.
No.
If you've ever been in love, you know what I mean? So this is what I hope for all entrepreneurs, that they truly fall in love emotionally with whatever this thing is that you're building. I think logically, we're gonna grind, we're gonna work eight hours a day, we out here, we're gonna do the 10,000 hours, I'm gonna put the systems together. And I don't even know if we can teach how to fall in love with that, how to make it a lifestyle.
All right, look, I know you're enjoying the episode, but I gotta tell you, finally, you asked for it, and we created a Patreon, okay? We created an inner circle. We have amazing stories, amazing information, how-tos from the episodes. The only thing we're missing is a community. So it's about that time. We put together a Patreon, we put together a community because we have to have conversation around the information. So even this podcast we're listening to right now, there needs to be conversation. I want to hear what you got. Like, let's throw some stuff back and forth. And because we're like-minded, we're all going in the same direction. When we connect in a community, we can connect on other stuff outside the community because we're building real relationships. Okay, so check out the Patreon. We got 3 tiers. I don't care what tier you join. The support is appreciated. Okay, thank you so much. Now back to the episode.
Well, you do when you help someone build something that they love out of the gate, which is why I dig so deep into what do you already do well? What is the gift? Like my gift is in communication. And my mom has been telling me that since 3rd grade, but I've run from it all this time. Meanwhile, I started a property management company. I was doing MLM. I had a real estate company, and all of those things made me money, but I absolutely needed a break from those things. Client calls, opportunities to make money were stressing me out. Whereas this, I can talk business and teach all day. If someone called me and said, can you be in such and such state tomorrow if it's the space available on my computer? Absolutely. Because I'm now building something that I am overly infatuated with. Like I lust after my business. I love it that much. And so for someone who is just on a money grab, then they're never going to fall in love with it. But if we connect it and you're lucky enough to actually find something that you're passionate about, not even necessarily purpose, even though purpose would be great too, but if you can find something that you're passionate about, absolutely.
What is it that you're in love with, the business or the pursuit to get what you want? Because if, let's just say, for instance, we build a business, we build a joint that we building,
we
right?
building
and
something serious.
Somebody comes and buys it for $300 million, right? You get 150, I get 150 after, I know the taxes and all that, the commenters, but you're up 150 million. Mm-hmm. And we've reached the goal. There's no reason to do client calls or take on clients.
I love it.
What do you think we do at that moment?
So for me, I don't necessarily have to do like one-on-one client calls right now, but I told you, it's just a part of me that I cannot completely eliminate. I love it. And I think for me, it's the impact. Like I feel fulfilled when I see that paradigm shift in someone else. And I think when we build our company and after 2 years, when we sell it for $300 million, at that point, it would absolutely only be for the passion. Mm-hmm. It'll only be for the passion of it. Now, what we're building is so dope because we're both connected to the purpose of it, right? Sure. And so then to put that in somebody else's hands.
Are we so connected that we can't sell it?
Oh, no, we're selling the heck out of it. We're selling it. But we're selling it to someone who's going to take, it's going to be what we started. Mm-hmm. We started this. We're responsible for this. And now we're going to sell it to people who will carry out that same mission, mm-hmm. but magnified.
I want to get, if anybody, and we can kind of line up at the mic, I like to hear your relationship with entrepreneurship. Like, what is the relationship like? You know what I mean? Like, I am truly connected. It's a lifestyle for me at this point. And I've been around a different group of people lately, which gives me even more of an insatiable desire to go at it and go at a higher level. And I'm feeling some change in it because it was, let me go help a bunch of people. Now, because I'm in a circle that's like, they're going to a whole nother level, Pushman Mitch just dropped off. What are you doing with $20,000 just on you, bro?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with you?
Yeah.
But that's the kind of conversation we're having. My man Neil said, we were in the mall. This was Sunday? What's today? Today's Sunday. It was Friday. We were in the mall, and it's his birthday. And he said, I put together this funnel, $34 or something like that. And he said, that night, he said, all right, well, I'm going to do $100,000 today off this funnel. And I'm like, oh, wow, dope. I believed him. It was exciting. But then I just found out that he actually did the 100.
Mm-hmm.
When he said it, I'm like, oh, yeah, bro, you could do it for sure. But then I realized we just found out he just did it. I was talking to Mitch. Mitch was like, yo, he showed me that he did 100 off the funnel that day. I'm like, wow. Now, there's nothing I can do with $100,000 in a day that I can't do at $100,000 in a month or, a certain amount of money. But now my wheels start turning like, ooh, I want to do that. It's no longer the money, but it's like hitting certain goals that I know are possible. It's like, I need to know my possibility. And it hurt me kind of it didn't hurt me really. But so we're having a conversation and it was in the mall. And Mitch, he kind of stunned on me a little bit. I said, yo, I had a 6-figure month. And it was recent. He said, you just had one of those? But he didn't say it to, it was really out of genuine curiosity. He said, really? Is that? Because he said that his perception of me is so much bigger. He's like, yo, I know you. I thought you were having like $1 million months. I'm like, how, bro? The morning meetup, $70 I'm like, really? So how would I do that? But it's another appetite that you have. And you see these people having fun. So, yeah, I like to know what your relationship with entrepreneurship is.
So I never wanted...
Say your name, too, if you want people to follow you.
999 Nomadic. I never wanted to have my own business. I always felt it was easier and safer to work for a company. But in the grind of all that, you get to kind of where, like, this is not really... It's what I want to do. Because I do like the job, but it gets a grind quality and it doesn't seem like you're ever going anywhere. And once I got the idea for what I wanted to do, everything else was better. So,
but entrepreneurship can feel like that, though.
No, I don't doubt that, but I know that where I was going was banging the head to the wall, and now just introducing something else that's going to be an expression of what I want to do, made everything like, oh, okay.
So the idea of possibility,
it's exciting.
Yeah,
it's exciting, and it improved areas that I didn't think it would improve.
So what is your relationship with this thing now? Like, how do you flirt with it every day? Or is it every day? Or is it every weekend?
So I'm writing a book, and then I want the podcast and the Instagram and all that stuff to kind of funnel back and forth between the two. So I'm working on the book. I write every day, a little bit. Sometimes it's stupid. Sometimes it's garbage. I'm struggling to find the exact voice that I want to use.
Is he in love?
But
it's so funny that you asked me that, because I'm sitting here like, man, I talk about my business with so much of a different energy. I talk about it. I'm not buying it. And you may be lower energy than me, right? I mean, most people are lower energy than me. That's not hard to do. But if I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, like, I wonder if he has an idea that I want to invest in. And I hear you say, well, I write sometimes a little bit here and there. Sometimes it's stupid. Sometimes it's not. I'm just kind of doing some stuff.
I'm writing every day. It's just, I've never written before. So when I go back and read from data, I'm like,
Yeah.
Like you
You'll
said,
always be your harshest critic.
Start ugly? Well, it's ugly.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
You're
but
dating.
I know that...
You're dating that book. You're dating.
Sometimes
I'm telling you, sometimes he I might call back. I don't know.
Yeah. He's not dating it because that wouldn't be acceptable. He's entertaining it, right? You're entertaining it, meaning I'll call you when I call you. If I'm available when you call me, I'll answer.
Okay.
I might like you a little bit, but I'm not going to do too much because sometimes you're just not that interesting.
Okay. So ratchet it up. You're not buying it. I'm going to do it.
Not buying it.
Okay.
I think you need to spend time with yourself, dreaming and mapping it. How many books are you going to sell on the release?
The release, I'm thinking
there
first month, 50,000.
I'm thinking.
You made that up just now.
Yeah.
Never thought about it before.
No, because
This is what I like you
feel
to
like
do.
the podcast.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll in because I want to start the podcast because obviously at the rate I'm going, I'm gonna have the podcast up and running before the book's finished. So I want to have the podcast up. Again, I want it to be this funnel thing, and then at whatever the magical episode is that I finished it at.
So are you writing a book just for the funnel?
No. I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book that I want to write, and my nephews are too young for this at this point, but at some point, this will be something they can read and be like, "Our uncle wrote this."
I love it. So you have an exceptional voice for a podcast.
Thank you.
And when you spoke about the podcast, you lit up a little bit. And so my thought, if I were your coach, would be, let's focus on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result of the podcast, maybe even centering some of the content for the podcast around what you want your nephews to learn about Uncle.
What did we talk about? What did I say on the board?
You said you got to be focused in on one group.
Yeah, you gotta do this podcast.
We talked about the podcast, and we used the book to support the podcast.
Yeah.
And so do the podcast, make it around that same content that you want your nephews to be proud of you about, and then let the book write itself as a result of the podcast. Don't force this. Don't force it because you want this to be something that is not just for them. You're not just writing a book from them. Send them an email. You're writing a book that they can be proud of, that other people, you want to sell the book, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it's not just about them reading the book. You want a marketable book. Build the podcast, figure out what parts of that podcast resonate with a mass audience, and then let the book fill its own contents up.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, my energy is 10 times higher right now. And still
So if I'm you, I am sitting down right now and I am mapping out my first 7 episodes. What do I want to talk about? What are the messages that I want to communicate to my nephews right now? If it was all over tomorrow, what will they get from this scribbled piece of paper from the Content Creation Bootcamp? I will go and write that down while my energy is at an all-time high. Drop the book for now. Put the book on the shelf because the book will come. David didn't write a book until he was a successful business person and business coach. I didn't write a book until I established success as a business coach. When I established that success and my back was up against the wall to write a book immediately, the content was organic because I wrote about what I'd already been doing.
100%.
Same.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I like it. Thanks, y'all.
All right,
Wrap it up. Wrap it up. That was good. Big Money, what up?
It's my turn.
Yes, sir.
I can go. What's going on? I'm Jay Remy on Instagram at J_REMYDEE, J Remy D. My relationship, I'm actually a pretty new entrepreneur, but I find myself getting really excited all the time about my business. I'm a fitness and nutrition coach. And it's kind of like my second passion behind baseball. I got like baseball, and then that's 1 and 1A is fitness and nutrition. And I get just really excited about it to the point where like, I don't even want to go to bed because I just want to work on the next thing. So I'm having trouble actually going to sleep because it's like 2 a.m. and I'm like, oh, oops. I've been working for the last 4 or 5 hours on this. So that's kind of where I am. And granted, I'm still new. I don't know if that's how it is for people who are seasoned or not.
You still staying up until 2 o'clock in the morning thinking, working on business?
Not. So one thing I would check. Like I got a wife and a daughter.
Yes,
yeah.
I will
that's
still
the
be
challenging part because I also have my wife at home, and then she'll come into the office and be like, "Why are you still awake?"
Here's what I would like you to check though. We need to check to make sure we're being productive and not busy.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I found myself up researching till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and got nothing done. What's crazy is when I got married and I decided, okay, I'm gonna be home by 6 o'clock. Then I started going to this church, and I'm taking all Saturday off. What I found is when I can find my time, I got more done.
Okay.
When I was just single by myself, I mean, I was grinding all the time. I wasn't nearly as productive as I am now, though. So what I would check with you is, you might be in love with the idea, but we're just with it all the time. Like researching, might be watching different fitness people and all that, but we didn't put a particular goal on our activity.
Yeah.
So We need to identify what the activity is. Because if you're staying up 2 o'clock in the morning, you should have a business plan together. Like,
Yeah, I
some
mean,
sort of goal.
usually it's I've planned out the week, and so I'm striving.
What's the goal right now? What's the goal?
The goal right now is this quarter. So by the end of what is that, June, to get 75 people in my online program.
How many people you got so far?
So right now I'm at 6.
Good.
So I broke that up, and so for April I'm trying to get 25.
Gotcha.
So I'm a little bit behind, but just reaching out to people every single day, posting on.
So what are you doing at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning that's going to help you get these people?
So at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning is when I'm actually like building out the program, since I don't have the ability to do that during the day.
You have 6 people in the program already, though, right?
Right. So I'm like building out future pieces of the program.
Okay.
So that it's there. I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the month or whatever.
So I'm not mad at your activity at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning because you have a wife. It sounds like you have a child. Are you working a job too?
I am.
Yeah. So right now you are finding the hours to build and implement and execute. And so sometimes that energy is what's required. I like the fact that you have a goal, a measurable goal. You need 75 people in your program this quarter, and you've broken it down month by month, and you're working toward it. But like David was saying, we always use an analogy somewhere around dating. You know, right now you have to, we got to make sure our target is crystal clear. Mm-hmm. So we get those 70 people, and then what, right? Because right now you're in the excitement stage. Right. You're excited. And it feels good, right? It almost feels like validation to say, I was up until 3 o'clock last night working, or this morning I got right back up at 7, helped my wife, went to work, came home, did it all over again. It makes you feel like you're productive. And it's like when you were dating before you married your wife, like that stage where it's like, I like her. Mm-hmm. This is exciting. But you don't know what her intentions are. Right. You hadn't really given much thought to what your intentions are. So you're just excited without an aim, without a target, right? And so 70 people for now, great. But right now, I'd be thinking about what's my big picture goal? What's the mission that I want to accomplish with these individuals? Where am I taking this group of people? And mapping out the content for it. So I'm assuming you have a blueprint, you have a directional and a journey of everything that you're going to do with your audience. Yeah. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, good stuff. I'm not mad at the activity. You guys,
I'm just saying check it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just check it.
Yeah.
Just to find out if you're not busy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Versus being
and the tough part is like my day job requires pretty long hours. Mm-hmm. And so that's why instead of being up till 10, 11, I don't usually start until 10, 11.
Where do you work?
I
work for the Braves. I'm a Braves employee.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Got you.
So just with the season started, the hours are pretty
I was
long.
thinking
And I
about
absolutely love it.
box
I love my
seats.
day job, which is also another conflict that I have.
I was thinking about box seats.
I shouldn't say a conflict,
Can
but
he get
I
us
love my
box
day
seats?
job.
I was wondering about box seats.
You think he can get us box seats?
I was thinking if maybe we could have a conversation with him sidebar.
Maybe.
Maybe if we did
that's what they want.
Maybe if we did a one-on-one with him.
Like if we coached him.
If we coached him, if me and you got together and coached him and helped him collapse the time frame, I was wondering like if box seats.
Before we make the offer though, let's find out if he has that kind of juice, because he might have gave his box seats away.
Do they want to share with you?
Right. He might just have concessions access.
He might just have concessions. He might just have like a ticket here and there.
Okay.
I thought this was supposed to be
Oh, my bad. I forgot.
We're mic'd up.
Yeah, I'm over here confused.
You guys were here. Okay.
I got question marks around my head. I don't know what's going on.
So hold on, about these box seats that you just brought up.
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't say nothing about box seats.
I mean, what's the question?
Can you get box seats?
I mean, I can get seats. I can't get box seats.
Yeah, get box seats.
But I can get seats.
How much is that worth?
I don't know. Is that a session? Is it do we coach based on the game?
Ground seats?
I don't know who's good in the league, who they be playing.
Are the Braves hot right now?
Are the Braves hot right now? Are the Braves hot right now? Are they hot?
I mean, they're winning like 13-3 right now. Got the game on in the back.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Wait. When you get seats, can you get food?
Not free food.
Not free food.
But I mean, I could pay for it for you.
I think the work that you're doing is amazing.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
Next guest.
Next.
I got my wallet.
Nah, you good. We will pull up though. We'll pull up.
Definitely gonna pull up. Yeah.
No. Oh, for sure.
Not coming out.
But yeah, I think just let's just set the target Just set the target. You know, in the morning, we're doing like the target.
Practice, yep.
From last Monday to tomorrow, what was the goal?
7 people.
7.
Yeah.
7 more in addition to the 6, or?
No, I started at 4.
You started at 4,
Yeah.
so 3 more.
Yeah.
Do you think you gave it all that you had?
I definitely did not. Not this week. No.
So those 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the mornings should add something. If you were saying, yo, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I got this plan where it's the overnight posting strategy where I'm hoping that people see it when they wake up, or there's a DM, or I'm building out this funnel so I can drive people, or things or I'm checking emails, or whatever, right? If that 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning activity is targeted towards the goal, then I'm like, all right, we're winning. But right now, it's probably busy work.
Okay.
It's probably busy work masked as grinding.
Right.
Yeah.
So we got how many? So what, 4? You're at 6. So you got 2 this week.
Yeah.
So next Monday, from Monday to Monday, let's see if we can pick up 3 or 4.
And so I want everybody to write this down.
Give them a round of applause, though.
Yeah.
Good.
I want you to write a reminder to yourself. Just write the word reminder. And then I want you to write, remember to do the work that pushes my business forward. Remember to do the work that pushes my business forward. And that is important. If what you're doing isn't pushing the business forward, it may not necessarily be a priority or doesn't warrant as much of your time. Sometimes we get stuck studying other people's funnels or buying another course or reading another piece of motivation, and you got all of that. You have what you need, right? What am I doing to move my business forward? And one of the things that I do every single day intentionally, if I didn't do something that day that moves my business forward by leaps and bounds, I'm not prepared to go to sleep. I don't go to bed until I can confirm and see clearly that I did something today to move my business forward. And so that was a habit that I began to implement because I would have this to-do list. And here's the other thing. I would have this to-do list full of 35 items that are all intended to move the business forward. And then I feel disappointed when I only got 3 or 4 of them done, feeling like I wasn't productive, when really I wasn't planning properly. I was putting 35 super important, strong activities on my list when really doing 3 was good enough. So now every day I say, Donni, did you do something today to push your business forward? Before I go out, if I have a brunch date or appointment, before you do this, did you do something today to push your business or move your business forward? Yeah. That's one thing. That's one of my productivity hacks.
I just caught something too. So, Jeremy, you're 1 person away from hitting your goal Monday, right? Question, guys. How many people did he ask to train today? Wow. You're 1 away, and we asked nobody here. He talked to you.
You signing up? What's good?
We didn't go that far yet. Oh, wait, hold on. When you say he talked to you, what do you mean? Okay. Oh, he gave you some pointers. After you gave him pointers, did he tell you that he could train you for a certain? That's crazy.
Because I'm thinking about an on-the-spot incentive. If you enroll right now.
But he came to him for questions. He gave absolutely, just gave you the answer.
Here's everything you need to know while I'm 1 person away. The 1 person you need is sitting in this room today.
Wow. All right, so y'all know my goal, right? What's my goal for Facebook? Did I ask y'all to follow the page today? Okay, just making sure I'm doing my activity. I don't want to be preaching to you something that I'm not doing myself. When it is a passion, because I know what's going to happen when we get to 10,000. It becomes a lifestyle. I see a group of people, I gotta ask, and I can't just assume because y'all bought the ticket to the content creation, probably through me, that you already know. I can't assume. You got a few hours to get 1 more. Let's not play with it. Tamika, what's up?
So I'm Coach Tamika James. I can be found at Tamika James or at Coach Tamika James on IG. My relationship with entrepreneurship, I absolutely love it. I mean, I love it. I love being able to assist anyone as an entrepreneur at the level that I can assist them at. I've only had a handful of real jobs in my life. When I say real jobs, meaning signing on with someone else giving me a paycheck. Only less than a handful in my entire life. So to get started with this conversation, I absolutely love entrepreneurship. I can't see life any other way.
So
I
if
eat it, sleep it, drink it, breathe it, live it, walk it, talk it,
What
everything.
does it taste like? You eat
It
it?
tastes like,
Okay.
it tastes like buttery, like
Savory?
garlic, savory,
It's savory. It
buttery
sticks to the hips.
with the herbs in it.
I got a question for you. I got a question for you. If the In Love with Entrepreneurship police followed you for a day, what would they find? Or they came to your house, would they be able to convict you for being in love with entrepreneurship?
I would be handcuffed behind my back with my arms. I'm handcuffed. They would handcuff my ankles together.
Submit your evidence.
Yeah,
Submit
they would,
your
and
evidence.
then they would I would be like hogtied, right? And
Submit
they would like
your evidence.
Yeah, they would drag me out.
Submit your evidence.
So my evidence would be that I during the day I am studying. During the day, I am working. I am building a plan. I'm working on a new plan. I'm working with clients. I'm constantly working. Yeah. And for me, I honestly just experienced a real serious transition because I was a cosmetologist and an educator traveling the world, doing all of these different things, like helping people for almost 30 years of my life. And most recently in November, I decided that no longer will I be a licensed, I was still gonna be licensed, but no longer will I be servicing clients. So I decided to walk in my path. I just decided to have faith and to step completely into coaching. Sure. So over the years, I've been assisting people. I've been that stylist behind the chair. And everyone that sat in my chair, I was assisting them with building their businesses and helping them to create structure, listening to where they are, helping them to figure out what was next, filling in the blanks, telling them what they needed to know. And I'm also an author. So I wrote this book. And I wrote this book because I was in the beauty industry and I really wanted to help the beautypreneurs. Well, every time I showed the book to my clients, they kept saying, this is not just for people in the beauty industry, this is for everyone. So I rewrote the book because it's for everyone. So at this point in time, I am just in a place where I am studying my craft. I am here to get the formula to not work hard. Like I say this all the time. I'm not slaving anymore. I'm done with that. You can't get me to slave. I'm not doing any slave work. I'm going to work with my brain. I'm going to figure the thing out and I'm going to do it. I will be a millionaire. So entrepreneurship, if anyone wants to know, I love it. I sleep it. I breathe it, everything. I need the formula. I need the plan at this point.
Yeah.
That's where I am.
That's good. That's good. She's in love.
She's in love. She sounds like she needs to be a Donni Wiggins client.
Donnie, I love Donni. Donni, I love Donni.
What do you think you're struggling with right now?
It is marketing. It is making sure all of the right people know exactly who I am and what I can do for them. So who are the right people?
Who are the right people?
Entrepreneurs that are currently making $50 to $250K. Entrepreneurs that are struggling with their planning. They start, but they stop. They don't really know. They don't have direction.
To $250,000, those two totally different people.
Well, okay,
a lot of times two totally different mindsets, two totally different budgets. Did you do the avatar?
Yes.
Did you create the avatar?
Yes.
Who's the avatar?
Her name is Gina. She, I don't have everything.
It's okay.
Committed.
Just give me an idea.
Okay.
Of what your avatar struggles with.
All right. She's an entrepreneur. She's shifting. She's trying to find her way. She, once again, she started, but she's confused. She needs someone to help her to pull everything out, lay it on the table. She needs to know what's first, second, and third. She needs to know what to get rid of in her life. She needs to understand who she is talking to.
For sure.
she needs a plan.
Okay. So
And she needs motivation. She needs those things.
So right away, even though at every level we need clarity and we need to reorganize sometimes at every level of income, but likely the person who's earning $250,000 a month or a year? Someone who's making $250,000 in their business might not need motivation, right? They may need a strategy to get to the next level. They might need help with scalability. So David is right. Those are two totally different audiences. Earning $50,000, people who make $50,000 a year are looking up to people who are making $250,000 a year. So they're not the same needs. I don't have the same needs right away. Someone who's making $50,000 a year probably wants to figure out just how to survive right now as an entrepreneurship because they're right on that line, right on the line of struggling to pay bills. Whereas someone who's making $250,000, they have a surplus of available financial resources, right? Provided that they're living a reasonable, responsible lifestyle. So the needs are different. And what I would recommend that you do is to get really, really clear in specifically what you do to help. So when you say they need to get organized, well, in what area? Because if I need to get organized with time management, that's very different than being organized with SOPs or systems or automation.
Time management.
Standard operating procedures. So if I need systems and team and automations, I'm not interested in your time management organization. So I want you to really get clear on what you actually help them do. Organization is too broad of a term. Getting things pulled out of them, too broad of a term. Because again, are you pulling out of me as a CEO who generates a healthy amount of income monthly? I don't need you to pull an idea out of me. I got the idea. Maybe you need to help me talk about and pull out ways in which I can delegate to some higher level associates, right? Two totally different levels of services. So we got to get clear right there. Clarity is a part that either you're missing or you're just not communicating.
Yeah, it's you were saying you said it. You said who I am.
Well, you didn't.
Okay. I will be saying it soon. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm taking this all in.
I feel like you're right there on the cusp. But you said a couple of things. You also said that the people who read your book said your book is for everybody. It can't possibly be.
And because somebody else, you wrote it for a specific person, then the specific person says this is for everybody, and you rewrite the book based on their opinion.
So who's everybody, right? Is she an 18-year-old college student and an 82-year-old great-grandmother? Are they reading the same book?
No. So my avatar, I decided that she's 38. I had an age range, but you guys forced me to go with one number. But she's 38. And the book is You Got Way More in You. Where is it? So it's for someone.
That's a dope name, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. It is.
You got way more in you. Where is it?
So walk you through who you are, like your qualities. Oh, you guys were having a private conversation.
Well, what I was just going to say is that we've both made 6 figures selling a book. And I feel like she has a really dope book name.
For sure.
And potentially a really dope concept behind her book.
Do we manage her?
And I'm thinking maybe if we partnered with her and showed her how to win with this book thing.
What do you think our percentage would be, though?
At least 20. 20, and that's conservative. I'm thinking, like, how much money does she want to make? Is you feeling 6-figure-ish, 7-figure-ish? Because 40% when you probably weren't. Real quick, hold on, excuse me. Hey, are you making 6 figures from your book right now?
Not from my book.
Okay, real quick. So she's not making 6 figures from her book right now.
Right.
I'm thinking somewhere between 35-ish%.
Right. Put her on the platform.
Put her on the platform. Elevate her. Get her some exposure.
Yep. What if she leaves us and writes a whole nother book?
So we do a contract.
Where my mind goes.
Yeah.
Like,
we can do an agreement where, because of the platform that we're elevating her on, and that is never going to end because the podcast is forever, we can do a contract for the next 2 books.
Like Oprah.
Like Oprah.
Bro, that's a good name.
We're the Dopras.
Absolutely, 100%. Get that domain real quick.
Yeah. By the way, I totally appreciated that conversation over there.
Oh yeah, no doubt. So what I would definitely suggest you do. What's the target? What's the goal? Dang, I was hoping you weren't gonna look in the air.
So here's the thing. There are a bunch of things on the plate. So when you ask me what's the target, and the goal is it for the book that you're asking me about?
I just want to know what your target is.
All right, my target is 500,000. 500K.
When are you gonna make that?
By next year.
How are you gonna do it?
Membership programs. So 3 membership programs.
Jesus.
The fact that I'm
You're gonna
run
3 membership programs?
3.
I got 1.
Yes, I have 3.
Jen, what if we did 2 more? You want to do 2 more? 3 membership programs. It's tough.
Yes.
So here's what I would like you to do, okay? Set a target by the end of this year. Because you have a number for 500,000, you're like, all right, well, I'm gonna do it next year. What about this year? What's the goal?
So this year is 130K.
130K.
Yes.
And I'm not going to ask your number, but do you know how much you have so far this year? How much you've made so far this year?
No, I can't tell you that.
Okay. So, I mean, not saying
No, I don't have that. It's not that I won't tell you. I don't have that number.
Interesting. Where'd you get the 130 from?
Because the 3 membership programs have a value on them, plus the other stuff that I'm doing.
Dang, 3 membership programs and other stuff?
Yeah.
This is what I would advise you. And you take the advice, for what it is. I would, if you're going to have 1 membership program, I will focus on building the 1 membership program. I feel like we got a big team of people and we got a lot of assistants and help. And we're still trying to figure out this 1 membership program. It's tough.
Yeah.
So because you haven't kind of gotten to the level that you desire to get to, and it's just certain things you don't understand about business. So I was talking to my man that's doing the event. I was telling him he needs to hire you as a coach because he said, well, what am I going to do? I said, well, she's going to tell you a whole bunch of stuff that you just don't know about business yet. And I don't know if you felt a certain way, but he just doesn't know. There's certain things you just don't know about, you just don't understand about business yet. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give you my idea is that I would focus on building 1 thing right now until you start to really understand business. 3 membership programs and other stuff. I had to drop all the other stuff. I got 2 things I'm focused on. Morning Meetup and the podcast. That is it. I can't even think about doing something else until we get these systems together. Right? Jen, it still ain't perfect. Stuff still's broke. We've been doing it for 4 years, 5 years. So what I would do is I'd identify what is this, go through the SMART goals, okay? Mm-hmm. Identify what the goal is by this year that you really feel like you can put together. Like it might be 60,000, it might be 100,000, but now we got to map out how we're going to get there.
Yeah, that's where I am right now.
When you do one thing very, very well.
What are you looking for?
I wanted to see if that whiteboard could come here, but we're fine. When you do one thing very, very well.
You want it? Could be helpful.
It could be helpful.
All right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So when you do one thing very, very well, it's not difficult to make $500,000.
That's a fact.
When you do 4 things subpar, it's extremely difficult to make $500,000, right? $500,000 isn't a whole lot of money. It's literally $100,000 5 times.
Here, because we could just use another camera. Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
It's off the camera, though.
It's off camera? Mm-hmm. No, they'll just hit the camera with the joint.
Oh, this camera
We got professionals in here, okay?
And I need a marker and eraser. So,
can I tell you that the memberships are 3 memberships that are similar but different?
That's even worse.
Okay.
And I want you to receive all this in love.
I'm okay? I'm okay. Trust me.
Out of love.
All right. So, number 1, tell me what you're helping people do.
Plan, structure, and organize.
Plan,
PSO.
structure. Okay, fancy.
Mhm.
And organize. Membership 1 is what?
That one is socially business savvy. That's SBS. That assists entrepreneurs with their social media. So they learn weekly how to do what they need to do on social media.
Membership 2?
That one is Underground Biz Group, UBG.
What does that
Underground
mean?
Biz Group. It is for entrepreneurs. It's something similar to the morning meetup to some degree. Entrepreneurs come in, they're able to speak. They're able to, so they come in, but they're able to speak.
What's
So
the point
they
of
don't
it?
come in being quiet.
What's the point of it?
So they can learn more about entrepreneurship. And it's not only me that gives them this information. I have other people to come in. So they're teaching them things about entrepreneurship. There's accountability as well.
Okay, and what's membership 3?
Membership 3 is Digipreneur. That one is to assist entrepreneurs with admin tasks, learning how to do admin tasks.
You want entrepreneurs to learn how to do their own admin tasks?
Yes, because they're going to have to do certain things. They're not going to hire out for every single thing. They're just not going to do it.
Okay, and have you priced these?
Yes.
How much is this one?
They're all $19.99 a week, which is $79 a month for each one.
All right. Okay, so you want to make $130,000 this year?
This is in addition to things I'm already doing. So this is like in addition.
How much money do you want to make this year?
$200,000.
Where'd that number come from?
Because the other number is 130, and that adds on to other stuff that's currently happening.
Okay.
And I don't have the exact number, but I'm close by giving you this number.
Sure. So $70,000 then is already accounted for.
Yes.
That's a done deal.
Mhm.
$130,000 is what you're looking to earn from your 3 memberships?
Yes.
Okay. So how many months?
No, that won't be 130, and then coaching is also added into. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Private coaching.
Oh. More work. Okay. So coaching is how much?
That is that's 30,000
a year.
Wait. Oh my gosh. 50.
Take your time. Don't feel rushed. Take your time. Breathe.
How much does one person pay you for coaching, and how often?
All right. It is $1,500 a month.
$1,500 a month. And
I love this. I love it.
That's my new rate. That's the thing.
Okay, $1,500 a month. How long do I stay a client?
Monthly.
Is there ongoing?
Monthly. They can come in or out.
All right, so we've got 8 full months left in the year, right? So that means that in order to hit your $130,000, you need to make $16,250 a month, right?
Okay.
So you're doing a membership at $79. That means that you only need 205 people in your group in one membership.
Oh, okay.
To make this amount of money in one. And so here we're talking to entrepreneurs whose goal is to plan, structure, and organize, or you teach them how to plan, structure, and organize. Number one, if this is the goal, then you're not a social media expert. Because I don't see here where you're talking and teaching marketing. In fact, you said earlier that you struggle with marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Social media isn't your lane. Is it?
It is when I'm working with someone who needs it. So maybe it's not 100% my lane, but I am capable of helping people with it.
Okay, awesome. So tell me about the results that you've helped somebody to get with social media.
I heard you saying some results earlier, and I don't have those testimonies. I have people who said that I assisted them, but they haven't given me numbers. So I have my testimonies. But okay. I don't have them saying, Tamika helped me to make, I have someone saying she helped me to get 5 new clients.
Right.
But it doesn't have a dollar amount on it.
I understand. So you don't have any testimonials formally for this.
I do, but not in a way that that you did it. So I have
Well, it doesn't matter
videos.
how I do it, right? So you have videos.
I have
Perfect.
testimony videos, yes.
Alrighty. So you have some testimonial videos, but you still yourself struggle with marketing.
Higher level marketing.
Like ads.
Yes.
Okay. Social business savviness. Tell me where it fits into plan, structure, organize.
It's in planning and it's in structuring.
Okay. Tell me how.
So the planning is would be when someone needs to push their content out. So they need to know how to and when to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So they need a plan to actually get that out.
Mm-hmm.
They need to understand how to do it. The structure is the understanding how to create your content for social media.
Okay, so here we're doing marketing. Here we have learning entrepreneurship, which means that I don't really know much about entrepreneurship. So we have beginners.
Yes.
All right. Are beginners going to need these admin tasks?
Yes.
Right now? Tell me how.
Yeah, because they're starting. So they need to understand Google Drive. They need to understand how to create a form because they're not paying someone to do it.
Okay.
They need to understand some things about building a website if they don't have the money to do it. They need to be able to move. I want them to not feel like they're sitting still. I want you to be able to start right now.
Okay. So is this all one membership?
Yes. And by the way, the reason why I had the 130 was because what I decided to do was to launch the business membership, giving them Digipreneur for free for 3 months. So those two are one payment right now. They're getting one membership and getting the other one for free. So I decided to bring the last two together for now.
Can I understand, based on your explanation, entrepreneurship without also understanding how to organize?
Can you understand entrepreneurship?
Based on what you just told me when I asked you, does a beginning entrepreneur need these admin strategies? And you said, yes, they need to understand how to get organized right out of the gate. So if I'm doing this, are you not ever going to teach me this admin stuff inside of the Essential Entrepreneurship group?
Yes, it will be in there.
Oh.
They're going to get it in
They're going to get it anyway.
They're going to get it anyway. This one over here, it has specific planned. There's times, there's like an hour and a half for the specific task. So when they're in the membership, we don't have an hour and a half to designate to a specific task.
Isn't this a membership?
Yes, that's a membership. So when they get over there, they know that today you're learning this, and it's going to be for an hour and a half of learning this.
Okay.
But when you're in membership, we're doing accountability. They're doing all of these different things while they're in that membership. It's not enough time.
How often do you guys meet?
Once a week.
Once a week. So what this sounds like to me is weekly topics rather than 3 different groups. So today we'll talk social media business. Today we'll talk about entrepreneurs, or this week we'll talk about entrepreneurship with the guest. Mm-hmm. And then the next week we'll talk about admin tasks. And we're going to make sure we're well-rounded and well-balanced in one group. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to have people over here in the 70. When I go to your landing page or your sales page to figure out what I need it all. But now I have all these options, right? It's like saying I want to bake a cake, but for this amount, you get the batter, you get the mix. Over here, you get the mix and the milk, right? But over here, I get the eggs and the oil. And over here, I get the tools, the bowls, the mixes, and all that stuff. And you're asking me to choose one. Well, I can't bake a cake without all of these things. So if your goal is to help entrepreneurs plan, structure, and organize, they can't bake their cake without all of these things. Sure. And if I land on your page and I see you have packages brought out like this, I'm choosing nothing because I'm moving on to find a group that teaches me all these things. You have one group for $79 a month. And let me tell you this, I just helped a gentleman build $1 million group in 30 days with a $37 a month membership. Right? In order to just add a $37 membership, I know this number because I break it down left and right. In order to even hit your goal at $130,000 with a $79 membership, you only need to focus on one group and do that very, very well. I know that at $37 a month, I need 500 people to make $18,500 a month. That's it. So do I want to force 500 people to pick one and end up with a fraction of that? Or do I want to get 500 people in a well-rounded group and not try to make all the money by signing them up? Because these people are not going to sign up for group 1 and group 3. They're going to pick one. And then they're going to be unfulfilled because they're not getting plan, structure, organized. Make this one group. Coaching sessions at $1,500 a month is cool, right? But if you do this well, you won't have to do this at all. Okay?
Okay.
Also, let me just give you a tip on a group. Unless you are specialized like David with validation, right? And even David struggles with this, like all memberships. He just told you when people come into the meetup, 50% of them will cancel after their $1 trial. Because your membership is $79, the secret spot for a membership is under $50. This is where people forget that they're paying you for a membership, right? So if you can make a $47 group, this is where you make $1 million in a group. $100,000.
Look, I was looking at it from and anybody want to do like a membership group or anything like that? For one, you got to bring people in faster than they leave.
Yeah.
The name of the game. You have to bring people in faster than they leave. And we started looking at the analytics. That's why I'm saying I'm gonna give you some blanket advice, and it's up to you to take it or not. But there's certain things that you just don't understand about entrepreneurship just yet and building business just yet.
Okay.
The fact that I'm like to put together 3 different concepts, and how many people got a bunch of different concepts? It's not you. Don't worry about it. If I pull most people from this crowd up to this mic, they'll sound the same way. Because it's just certain things that they don't understand about entrepreneurship just yet. To be able to balance them, I do too, and I feel like I'm dope. I feel like I understand more than most about business. But me and Jen are still on this one. We just figured out, okay, well, if somebody's gonna be there for 3 months, if you come on right now, it gives you an option to buy my book, which is my book, well, both my books and a disc assessment for $37. So you pay $1 and then $38. Last month, the most you could spend on my website is how much? $1, just a trial. And I'm like, oh, well, the people that were going to leave anyway, if I can get them to spend $37 more, it instantly takes my daily income up. Because people are coming in every day, like I said, 2 to 15 people. Now on the back end, if we know that most people are going to leave in 3 months, I lock you into 3 months at a discounted rate. Go onto the website now. Anybody been on the website lately, just signed up, the morning meetup? It asks you to sign up for 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. Now people are making a decision to do 3, 6, or 12. And we're seeing it. We're like 10x in daily income. It took me how long to figure that out, though?
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I tell people, if you're beginning as an entrepreneur, let's start with one thing, with one goal. Let's just start simple. What do I feel like I can make this month? What can I build so it's going to give me some income? If it's going to be a membership group, build it. I'm cool with that. But you got to understand that one membership group, memberships are a monster.
A monster. I don't recommend new entrepreneurs start there. I personally don't recommend someone who's new in this space, in the coaching space, to start with the membership, because it's not just about understanding business. David is absolutely right. I think you're a businesswoman because you've done other things in your field. But when it comes to general business, right? So now we're talking about not just helping in cosmetology, but we're talking about helping all kinds of things. And now we're not just getting into business skill, but we're also getting into the psychology of buyers and consumers. We're also getting into the psychology and the makeup and mechanics of an actual business, right? So there's major components that I believe are missing. I didn't even touch on the $1,500 a month coaching when we're talking about planning and organizing and structure. well, if you're doing all this in these 3 different groups, well, what the heck are we doing up here?
We didn't even touch on the other stuff. It was
what we
undefined
doing up
other
here?
stuff. Remember the undefined other stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So, moral of the story, because we want to keep it moving. But my advice: let's get a crystal clear goal, something you really, really feel like that you can put together. And I would advise hiring a coach. Because like I was telling my man, it's just certain things you just don't know, you don't understand about business just yet.
Yeah.
So Eric, I coach him in podcasting. He's been making 7-8 figures. So he understands, I need to just cut the learning curve. Because how long would it take you to figure out like the dynamics between you and your partner? Like, I basically called him and told him, this is gonna take me damn near a year and a half. I need to take 3 months. I'm gonna get the chase. I got too much pride to fail. Yeah. But he understands, because he's been in business, he understands, I'm just gonna invest in, because I know trying to figure out this new space of my time doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So I would enlist the help of a coach.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? People ask me to coach. He had to almost like, he had to hawk me down to coach him. Because I'm focused on morning meetup and the podcast. Those are my 2 things. So the like looking at Donnie's schedule and like her clients and the way she's structured, I'm like, yo, I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't see how you could do it. Then she got the post. It's just, it's too much.
But those add-ons, when I started, I was just a coach.
Yeah.
I was just a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Only teaching people what I knew for a fact, right? Which, like I said in the beginning, was, well, after personal development, it was simply teaching people how to come up with business ideas that were fitting of them, right? And so I want you to think of all these things that you listed, where you shine. If I'm listening to you, social media isn't it. I got some testimonials. Some people said I've helped them. I know exactly what I've done for my clients. I know exactly where I shine. I know exactly where I don't, right? So that's not where I would start. I think maybe in the planning phase, maybe in the admin phase, which those 2 can go hand in hand, I think that's where you are. You can't and don't need to be all things to all people. They don't need to come to you for social media strategy, because I guarantee if I went on your page right now, it's not indicative of an authority in the social media strategy space. Guarantee. I just know because of how you're speaking about what it is that you do. I don't even have to look at it. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, I'm really, really good at assessing people, and you have an it factor. So if you actually take this seriously and hire a coach and get really, really clear, you're fine.
Oh, yeah, I'm serious. So,
yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
All right, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up.
Thank you.
We want to try to get it going. Ariel, what's happening? What kind of shoes are those?
First
I keep
of all,
looking at them.
Aren't they banging? They are so amazing.
Those are dope shoes.
These are dope. I got these at Saks. And what I'm going to do, because I can never remember the name of these are, one of those brands that's a brand, but everybody don't know about it. These are Alea.
Alea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're giving me like Cinderella vibes from that, like the one.
They're definitely, they're that deal. Absolutely. They have a comma in them. Is that designer?
First off,
right.
Your laptop bag is Samsonite, and I just said so. She got the Gucci bag with the Gucci bag. She fly from head to toe.
Let me tell y'all,
and then the Samsonite bag.
We
got to get to Ariel
really quickly. Okay, I walked in with a Samsonite backpack. The reason that I own that backpack is because when I was traveling once before, I bought additional equipment and I needed to pick up a bag very quickly. Okay, I went into the store. The Samsonite bag is nothing to sleep on, but I got on really nice shoes.
Don't expect me to think that Alea. Who? Alea?
Right. Look, Google it.
I don't want to. Ariel, let's go.
Google it. Okay, I got on all this stuff and he picks out my handbag. I'm not even a label person.
Yes, you for sure. All right, can we get back to the podcast?
You the one who brought it up. I'm over here with the unbuckled shoe on and everything.
Ariel.
Hey, Ariel.
Hi.
What's happening?
Well, first I wanted to say, so I am Donnie's student in the 6-Figure Accelerator, and I think one of the first things that one of the first things that is like one of the first motivational things is champions learn how to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that I have been through, so when it comes to my relationship with entrepreneurship, I've had to shed a few layers of like needing answers, asking for questions, needing
shedding layers.
assistance.
That's a good way to say it.
It's just been a thing. And so I would say as your distant coachee, I've had to like look at myself. It's been a process of like looking at myself and then figuring out where do I need to build a backbone for myself. Because I think my relationship with entrepreneurship has actually evolved because I was a corporate America employee. I mean, I used to say like, I will never, like, who wants to be an entrepreneur? Like, I get my check every other week, and it was nice and sweet. It was fine. Never thought about anything else. I spent 26 years as a Black woman and never thought about a social justice issue of any type of anything. Never thought about how race was holding me back or any kind of thing. And I ended up doing a volunteer event at Covenant House, Georgia. Ended up helping young people. I went there with the intention of helping them how to cook and life skills, and learned that they had so much more experience than I did in life. So I created this career development program. And long story short, it was then that I realized I was working my 9 to 5. I would go home and do my 6 to 10. And on the weekends, I was building the program. Nobody asked me to do the program. I just thought, okay, if we're going to help these young people who are experiencing homelessness get a job at my company, then we at least have to give them an experience. We don't want to just give them an application.
So did you build a nonprofit or build a business? Within
my company, I created a nonprofit.
Oh, you built it for your company. It wasn't like your business. Okay, I got
That was the first time I learned. So we grew it. We built it in Atlanta. We launched it in New York and LA. And the program went for 3 years straight. They want to do it in Mexico, Detroit. And as soon as I started realizing I put all my blood, sweat, and tears in this program, like I'm telling you, I was just waking up, thinking about the program. Oh, we got to build out this module. Oh my God, we got to do this. Got the volunteers, all of that. And I realized this is called the Delta Career Readiness Program. This is not the REL Career Readiness Program.
For sure.
And so I started to be pulled in 2 different directions. So I realized, okay, well, you actually do have what it takes to be an entrepreneur. Like that whole thing about you not wanting to. Are you still there now? No, I quit 2 years ago. And in between 2 years, though, I picked up Airbnb and helping people get apartments who have bad credit. Sure. I forgot all about career readiness because I'm just like, okay, well, now I'm an entrepreneur. I got a jug. I got to do this. I met a man, all kind of stuff, right?
Girl, I got a story like that too. It did not
story
end
like
well.
What? She just said
I met a man.
You know exactly what that means.
Ladies, if you have an opportunity, I'm not going to say that. They'll eat me alive in the comments.
I don't want to hear the story. Okay, go ahead. Said, how are we on time? Where are we at? What's my number? Okay, all right, cool.
Okay, so long story short, my relationship with entrepreneurship has evolved. I now realize what it takes, like what it felt like to be working on my own vision and to be launching something. Sure. I know what it takes to be like on my own timetable and execute something. And then when I finally like signed up to do the 6-figure EDU, it was about, okay, I want to do my coaching because I know that I have what it takes to like be a coach and pull things out. I've had to get really clear on my niche and stuff like that. And then thinking about, so where we started with this entire boot camp was, okay, I'm gonna do YouTube, podcasts, and my writing and things like that. And then maybe coaching goes to the back burner. But then one thing that you said that unlocked my mindset was these platforms are marketing tools. Mm-hmm. And then I started to think, and this is actually more of the question. It does come since we're doing.
I was like, I know there's a question in here somewhere.
Coming here.
Right. It's so what I'm thinking based on all of this and where I am at this moment is thinking about my goal still being $100,000 with coaching, as we've done like the marketing, the 6-figure money tool, right? And then knowing that $8,333 a month is what I need, and that means it's about 6 to 7 clients.
Let me get this question though.
Okay, boom. Thank you.
Yep.
The question is so another goal to set 52 videos on YouTube,
Mhm.
and then transform those to podcasts.
Yep.
Invite people on as as interviewees and explore their careers.
Mhm.
While I do that, I'm asking them questions that help them.
Let's start with the question.
Oh, is that now the clarity? So the clarity is the clarity in using the goal of 52 videos a week as a marketing tool to my coaching business, a decent
For sure.
business
Because you said
model.
you wanted to make earlier. You said you want to make $100,000,
Right.
but you're going to use your 52 video, your pretty much weekly videos
Mhm.
to share your expertise in this particular area,
Right.
giving the offer, which should produce people at least booking a call or signing up for the coaching, which
sales
is going to
calls.
yield you 100,000.
That is, yes. So it's more like a gut check.
Makes
And then
sense.
it's also a reflection based on you guys' question about my relationship with entrepreneurship.
Mhm.
Clarity.
Yeah.
I mean, if you run that play, you'll be fine.
Sound good. I know I can ask you in the Q&A for sure. Okay, is that why you, okay.
No. I'm defaulting to David's answer. I don't think there's a first or second way. You can do podcasting that leads into coaching. You can do coaching that leads into podcasting. There's not a wrong answer there. Neither one of us started podcasting first, if there's any indication there. But doesn't mean that you can't.
Mhm. And doesn't mean that we wouldn't have.
Doesn't
like,
mean
say
we
we were
didn't
coaching
know.
and we was like, yo, we're going to get on here and we're going to talk entrepreneurship. People going to resonate with it and hire me.
We didn't know anything about podcasting at the time.
The
right?
idea is,
Right.
the whole idea is setting a play and running that joint.
Yeah. Okay.
No one knows if it's going to work. I've come up with some amazing sounding plans and then we put it into practice and it's
trash.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you're gonna go that angle, just be strategic, right? Making sure that your content is directly focused on what will lead into your coaching. So like with our podcast, people will comment like, Donni is a know-it-all and blah, 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 blah. Well, this is a marketing vehicle for my coaching program. How would people know that I'm hireable or qualified if I didn't give information on the podcast, right?
Yep.
So it just really depends on so many things. To say, is this the right way or the wrong way? It would be irresponsible of us.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a way? Absolutely.
Okay. And I run the play and then just go with it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely comfortable with that.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. Clap it
Yeah,
up.
for sure.
You know, so cool. So we got the ads running, and my man was like, "Come on." We got the ads running, and my man was like, "Yo, we probably won't know." He said these first 30 days are us gathering data.
Who's doing your ads?
My man David, he's killing it too. I can show you some numbers too.
Show me the numbers.
Yeah, it's really good.
I like to see that.
But yeah, he said, yo, we're gonna pick this ad set and this demographic and this creative and things of that nature, and we're gonna run the play. The first 30 days is gathering data to see if this works.
This is true.
See if it works.
And here's what's important about that. So many people, so many new entrepreneurs like to rush with a very new concept into how do I run ads? How much money do I need to run? The first 30 days is testing. Can you afford to run ads, right? If you've got $3,000 and you got to make that back right away, running ads might not be the strategy for you first. Maybe we need to do some harder organic work to give you some cushion, because you don't just put money in ads and get money out. When you're a new brand, new idea, new ad account, there are other factors. And the first 30 days really is testing.
These are like the numbers. I'll show it to you later. So we got, this one did 8, that one did, so we got 14. So just to share with y'all, we got 14 sales since the, when did he start running them? Jen, was that Wednesday, for Thursday? Was it Thursday?
This is on the...
So Wednesday to today, well, yesterday, we got he just launched the Facebook page growth thing, and we got 77 likes. We spent $37.43.
This is going to the Meetup?
Yeah, both of these two are going to the Meetup. So we have 14 purchases came from the ads. It costs us about $500 to get 14 people coming in. But every person, and this is before the upsells, and he says he had to like refigure out the upsells. But because, okay, let me give it to you this way. Every person that comes in, every 2 people that come in, 1 drops, right? They come in for $1, trial, drops. But if you stay, you're gonna be there an average of 3 months. So 8 times 3 is 240. So every 2 people is worth $240. Y'all follow that? Anybody lost on that? Meaning every 1 person that enrolls, they're valued at $120. So every person that I can get to come to the website and sign up is valued at, the lifetime of that customer is valued at $120. Y'all follow that? So 14 people coming to it seems like, I spent $500 to get 14 people to spend $1, but 14 people times 120, how's my return? And it's probably more because he's only calculating it based on the $1 trial. So he didn't, when we were putting it together, I didn't have all the upsells. We can't calculate the $38 order bump. We can't calculate the 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months.
Right.
I knew none of this a month ago. But I told the guy, I said, I'll hire you to run the ads, but you've got to teach me. I need to know what's going on. I'm not trying to replace you and do the stuff myself.
Right.
But I need to learn. And I wanted to learn, 1, because I'm a content creator. And I knew that if I can gather more information, I can be able to create content that's going to help other people. But 2, I'm really, really into these numbers. And I need to know where my activities needs to be targeted.
Why can't you calculate the order bumps?
No, because I just gave it to him, and he put the numbers together before I had the order bumps.
So those numbers are based on no order bumps.
That order, yeah.
So you're saying that the estimate is without that, but he will be able to track the order bumps.
No, I'm saying, I just gave you the estimate. It's not in there. But yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Alistair, what's up, man?
That's good stuff.
Alistair Edwards, what did you say, Instagram? Alistair.Edwards, ALISTAIR.Edwards. And yes, I love entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Been doing this for quite a while, very excited about it, love what I do. Not only have I been successful, I've created success stories, those receipts.
Sure. And you'll be on the podcast soon. You recording this week?
Was I recording?
Are we recording this week?
I was recording on
the podcast, man.
Yeah, whenever you're ready. Cool. Whenever you're ready. I'm good. And done many years of sales training.
Trinidad?
Jamaica,
man.
Yeah, island.
No, I didn't even sound close.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
All right, but done years of sales training within my industry, within my company. And now feel like I need to bring some of that training outside to the masses. And I think the struggle is, how do you grow that following outside when you've been known for doing it in just one industry? See, I built 6 figures while I was earning 6 figures in corporate America.
For sure.
So, I was 4 years, 6 figures part-time while I was working a 6-figure job.
Yeah.
Right? But now to take that knowledge and bring it outside of the network marketing industry, just to the sales industry completely.
Do you know who has a story of being a 6-figure income earner in network marketing and then left the industry and became a high-level performing entrepreneur?
I don't know, Donni. Do tell. Who is it?
I mean, you know what I mean? No, it's highly possible. But what I will say is, coming from a space where I was a top earner in my company, I had to, you guys don't like to hear this. I had to make a decision. I had to leave. Because people, though they were trickling in and they were coming to me and wanting coaching, because what I started to do before I made the shift to just leave, I stopped promoting my company's name, and I instead started to promote the lifestyle of freedom and time management, or time freedom rather, and the ability to make choices without having to ask for a boss. But nobody in that from that perspective, they didn't really know what I did at that point. I'm not mentioning a company because I was in the travel space. I'm not, I'm traveling all the time, but I'm not necessarily promoting a travel company. So they're like, what do you do? And there was people who said, I just want to be coached by you to take all these trips and do all this stuff, right? So I started there. But though those clients really set the standard and created the mark, it wasn't my ideal client. Right. My ideal client wasn't someone who was just going to be attracted to travel and wanting to work with me, right? I needed someone who was a little bit more focused and zoned in. And so when I started to market myself as an entrepreneurship coach or a business coach, the question that I got all the time, we do market research to identify repeat questions and issues, right? The question that I got all the time was, this isn't a part of that MLM stuff you be doing, is it? Or you're not about to try to recruit me into anything, are you? And because that question came so much, I had to make a decision. Which one am I going all in on? Which one am I going all in on? And I know that I knew that I didn't want to teach travel as an entrepreneur. I wanted to teach how to build business because I knew how to do that. I knew how to build teams and get people to buy products. And so I had to walk away. I had to make a hard cut.
And I get that. And I hear you. But I think where I'm going with mine's a little different because of what I sell.
Yeah.
So I'm not into creating the course to recruit people to my business. I want to teach them sales.
Yeah.
And then protect them with a legal plan. Because I'm a firm believer, no matter what business you're in, no matter what industry is, entrepreneur, small business owner, whatever it is, you need to have strong legal counsel.
Yeah, and I know that.
They may not sign up for the service.
You know that, but you're still bringing them back to a legal plan that your MLM company provides, right? So you are still recruiting them into something. And people don't resonate well with that. I just want to learn sales. I don't want you to teach me sales and then push me to a lawyer.
Right. But I'm not going to make it a requirement that you get the service.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about it. It makes it uncomfortable because now I got to tell my coach no. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Right?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with no. No, seriously.
Clearly, you're not.
I am. If you've said yes to the sales course and all you want is my sales training, I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. But I still think as a proper coach, it is my responsibility to let you know that this service also exists. And as you move forward in entrepreneurship, as you move forward in life, this is a service that you should consider. Or you should, whether you get it from me or you go outside and retain it.
Sales pitch.
I'll teach sales.
Yeah, but I don't want to be, we all know that that's being recruited into this monthly membership, right? And I don't want that from you. I don't. I could have done business coaching and said, hey, every entrepreneur deserves freedom on a beach in paradise. Sign up for this travel plan, right? But you can't. And let me just tell you where you are right now because I've been there. You have it made up in your mind that it works and that it will work. And I'm not going to say that it won't because people create miracles all the time. Is it the most effective way? No. You either teach sales or you educate people on why getting legal protection in their business is important. One or the other. And if you do that, you're likely going to have, if you do that in your own packaged course and program, then you're probably going to have issues with your company, right? Because now there's a conflict of interest. So for me, I am just creating a sales program. And that is that, right? If someone comes to me with a legal matter, then you know what? I can't give you advice there. However, I am a part of this XYZ company. Here's some information. Check them out.
Here's what I maybe recommend. Shoot the course.
Mm-hmm.
And run the play. Shoot the course. See how it fits. See what people's response are. You might just run this. You might shoot the course and your thousands of people on your team receive it and they all buy it. And you don't put a particular company on it and all other network marketing companies buy it and you got the same result. You're coaching tens of thousands of hundreds of people.
He just brought up a great point.
I think Jim Rohn did it, right?
He did. Eric Worre does it. He did. But
100%.
You know what they had to do? They had to disconnect from companies. The other problem, David just brought up a point that I didn't even mention. You want to build a global business. You want your sales course in people's hands all across the board. People know you for MLM. If I see that, or if I get wind that you're going to bring them into your legal business on the back end, I will never send my team over there. It's a wrap. Right. This is just a funnel for him to get people into his MLM. So now you are even more so limiting the amount of people that you have available to sell to. And they just don't deserve it. They don't even deserve to be confused in that manner. We're either going to teach sales or we're going to encourage legal protection. And I urge you, because I tried for years to say, oh, I can do it. It makes sense. I can separate it. I don't know a network marketer yet that has successfully done that. Not one, not even the highest paid Black person in network marketing right now that I have a very close relationship with. Tried it. You have to either build a business separate from your network marketing company or build and do both at the same time, but there's a clear delineation. You stop mentioning that company's name. This person stopped mentioning that company's name, built an additional business, and that's why it works, right? You can't funnel those people, or you shouldn't funnel those people into your legal company. As much of a love that you have for, an understanding that we need life insurance, we need legal coverage. We do need these things. I know we need these things. I have a whole legal business clarity blueprint. We teach these things, but I'm not funneling them through the back door to my network marketing company. I'm not even involved in network marketing anymore, just for clarity.
I tried to get her to get a little spot.
Won't do it.
I'll be trying. So obviously, I'll sign up for something. The old me, not this focused me. But yo, shoot the course.
Will do.
See how it goes. All right, two more, and then we're gonna get out of here. Y'all rocking tonight, man. Y'all all right? Y'all good? Okay.
I am not okay.
You're not okay? Are you sleepy?
Definitely getting a little sleepy.
Two more, let's do it.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Tayus, and I am on Instagram under MissMakeItHappen_1. Okay. I am in the real estate field. And, I love entrepreneurship. I've always...
Hold on, real quick. Start with the question, and then to me back.
I have multiple things businesses that I run. I have a 501c3, Change Begins With Us.
Hold on, real quick. Start with a question.
Okay, so...
Give me a sentence with a question mark at the end, and then you can do the back.
How do I put down businesses that's funding other businesses? Because, Donni, you taught us that you have to figure out one thing. You can't just do everything. And I've been doing everything for a long time, but some of it is getting kind of tiresome. Mm-hmm. And one of them, it requires a lot of physical work. In addition to it, I work a 9 to 5. And I am near the top of the platform for working in my corporate position. And I will have 20 more years before I retire. So.
Dang, that don't sound like fun.
Not at all.
20
not
more.
at all. At least 20. And so, in real estate, I've purchased real estate for many, many years. And I purchased it through tax sales and over-the-counter at land banks. And I teach other people how to purchase real estate in this fashion. So when it's not tax sale season, I decided to make a niche to market to individuals who are going through foreclosure, which is a pain point. And I have a book, 10 Ways to Save Your Home from Foreclosure. I need to know how to set up my businesses so it looks like a business and being able to generate a steady income from each of them, the foreclosure portion and the tax sale and land bank portions.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard two questions. One, how do you set up your business so it looks like a...
So it can look like a business, because I have a couple of clients that I purchase land for and homes for, and I just charge them $1,000 to go and go to the tax sale, bid on the properties, and purchase it for them. You understand what
Girl,
I'm saying?
I got some deals for you to look at.
Damn, I got a whole 1,000. When's the next? First off, okay.
But
in all seriousness, when's the next one?
It's coming up in June, and so I want to be.
Hold on. Do I give you the money now to go?
So I need to be able to have some structure.
It sounds like you only do that in Atlanta, though.
No, I do it in Memphis, Tennessee, and Missouri.
Okay. First of all, the ring, honey, is gorgeous. From over here, I'm like,
thank you.
okay,
Thank you.
yes, that's really nice.
Thank you.
Secondly, I don't necessarily teach that you shouldn't do multiple things. I teach and promote that you shouldn't do multiple new things at one time.
Okay.
You should do something and make that great first, and then we can do other things because we all have multiple streams of income. So I just like to really clear that up.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, it just sounds like you need to quit stuff, right? So write it out, map it out, map out what you earn from these things versus how much time you put into these things. And then map out the most time with the least earnings first. Or cross out the most time with the least earnings. Cross out the one that I don't like to do at all.
Mm-hmm.
Cross out the one that I'm just doing just to make a little bit of money.
Correct.
David was just doing something just to make a little bit of money, right? And he had to quit. And when he quit, now he's on his way to a 7-figure income by making that decision.
Correct.
I had to X out those things that I was just doing for money, right? The other thing that I would encourage you to do is stop bidding on properties for $1,000 for people because that is not worth your time. Sell them a $1,000 course.
Correct. And I need assistance with that.
Well, you need to call me.
Okay. Will do.
However, I want you to walk away with a good
Do you have
answer.
an affiliate link that I could put in this?
First of all, how am I earning a commission off my own product? No, in all seriousness, like you don't have to call me. You should, but you don't have to, but you should.
Okay.
You need to stop doing that physical labor because nobody who wants to stand down at the auction steps for $1,000. Like right there, you know, how many hours does that take? How many clients can you personally serve? How many people can you comfortably bid on at one time at the auction?
I can, that is not the actual physical labor. I had a side hustle where I coupon, right? And couponing, I actually start selling the bundles that I coupon, and it was very, very profitable. But
It is.
it's very profitable,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a lot of work. And
I got involved in that trap one time.
Yeah.
Yo, here's
it's a lot of money.
Y'all got garages full of tissue and toilet for $1.63 this week. Sign me up. But then when I realized that you got to go to 5 different stores to get 5 different brochures with 5 different sets of coupons, sign me out. Tap me out right now. I cannot. I just don't. It's not saving $20 is not more valuable to me than saving 3 days of my time.
Correct.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So people fought with me in the couponing community all the time. Well, you save money. That's great, sis. Keep saving your money.
Right.
I need my time back, right? And so I'm trying to develop, I believe in selling high income skills and high income information, high income producing skill sets and high income producing information. Period, bottom line, point blank, the end.
Right.
If I am you, it sounds like you have several things going on in real estate where tax sales and foreclosures are the focus of those things. And so I am hearing right away how to get started in real estate at low investment, how to, you know, I know in Georgia, not necessarily, but in different states, you can buy a tax lien for under $1,000.
Correct.
How to buy your first piece of real estate for under $1,000. I'm hearing that course, do numbers.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not trying to buy your binder of coupons. That's just me.
Correct.
Right? So get rid of that physical labor. You don't have the time for it. You have a job. You have a husband. You have other hustles. Coupon for yourself. Can I be honest real quick?
Yes.
I know I'm going to get slammed for this, but once you start making a certain amount of money, coupons just don't matter as much anymore.
It doesn't. And it's like right. And
coupons like just don't matter as much. My answer is make more money.
Right. That's true. And I found myself.
I'm sorry, when people's funnels pop up and I'm shopping and it'd be like, subscribe to my email list to save 10%, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll make more money.
And it's so much
these
work,
emails.
but it was funding other projects. And
I understand.
I have a steady clientele, and they still calling me, and I still have a lot of things that's in my home that I'm trying to basically get rid of. I'm selling the rest of my inventory.
I understand.
But it's too much.
Here's my thing, man. And it might be slightly different. I'm just a big, and maybe it's just me. The way my brain works, it's not, I don't think people can't do multiple things. You can do whatever you want to do.
Yep.
It's just, it takes another certain, it's another thing to think about.
Mm-hmm.
It's just another thing to think about. So a couple months ago, I let go of some things that actually pay me.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't even have to do a lot of work for. It's good money, literally no work. But I had to let that go. Because it's just another thing on my brain. And I just look at like my brain as so valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need every little piece of it. And I'm not willing to chip off no piece of it to give to this, to that, to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, once I made the decision, everything. Boom.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have any young adults or teenagers that are connected to you closely?
Yeah, my son, he graduates college on May 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And so he wants to get into the real estate business with me.
Sounds great, like
Yeah.
a business partner. But
Mhm.
more importantly, with the couponing business, because you've got established clientele and you've got systems in place for
Correct.
it,
Mhm.
it sounds like a giftable business.
It is.
Give it away to someone.
And I've been working with this young lady in the office, and I've been training her and everything.
Oh,
So
case closed.
yeah,
Hey, girl. Congratulations. Happy birthday. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
correct. Also, I do want to mention that Tamika James, I would like to give her a referral. She did help me out on some social media tasks.
Look at
that's
that
what's
social
up.
proof.
Yes.
Social proof. I love it.
Good,
Yeah,
good,
give
good.
the business away Monday morning.
Mm-hmm. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is. Tomorrow, we got a couple
Listen,
hours
I'm an
left.
action taker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Put the conversation together, send the Zoom invite,
Mhm.
roll it out.
Yep.
3 days of training,
Let
done.
it go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right, no problem, no problem.
All right.
Yes, sir. Oh, go ahead, Eddie. You got to do it on the mic, though.
They asked you when was the next auction. You said in June, right?
Yes.
Well, there's auctions every month in Florida and places like that.
Those are different type of auctions.
Okay.
Because they have redemption periods. I work with auctions where there is no redemption.
No
period,
redemption.
And at the tax sale, you basically purchase.
Oh,
So
you
they
walk
do
away
they
an
do those
owner?
in Tampa too, though. They're over the
$1,000?
counters too in Tampa.
That's what I'm
Before you
saying.
stop doing $1,000
Exactly. I'm just talking
service
her out of it. I'm
fees,
trying to give her the $1,000 in advance.
before you stop, come talk to us.
Yeah. I'm talking-
Did you say that's a list? Oh, okay.
Oh, so it's a tax list. So it's
I
houses
was-
on that paper.
We're done.
All right, one more. What you got?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hi. Good evening. Are y'all tired? Because I didn't hear nothing. Good evening.
No.
Because
Yeah.
I know you're not.
Come on,
tired.
co-host.
At least ways, I'm the last one, so maybe, you know, this is
I
it.
rock
This
with
is
you.
it.
I rock with the energy.
This is it. Good evening.
Hey.
My name's Victoria.
Hey, lady.
Victoria.
Instagram is _VIALEXIS. VI Alexis
Okay.
is my Instagram. Okay, you asked the question, what's my relationship with entrepreneurship?
Yes.
Skeptical.
Okay.
Good answer. Honest answer.
Should
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
It should be. It's a scam sometimes. You should be skeptical of entrepreneurship.
Should be
It'd be a
skeptical.
whole
Not
scam.
enough people are skeptical.
For sure.
Yes.
Is it skeptical of entrepreneurship or skeptical of yourself?
Both.
It's skeptical. I think it's a little bit of both.
Entrepreneurship works, but you might not.
Sometime.
Nope. Entrepreneurship works across the board. The
Sometime.
person might not. The idea might not. The person might not. But entrepreneurship is a whole industry that works.
Yeah.
I think if I'm skeptical of me. Can I do it? Is my idea strong? But this is your moment. Let's go.
But that's exactly it.
Okay.
I am a 9-to-5er right now. in a room full of entrepreneurs. I think my
Hold on, whose phone was that?
Jen.
It couldn't have been Jen. There's
Jen,
no
of all
way.
people. Are you TikToking?
Oh my
TikToking.
goodness. I'm sorry, Victoria.
The embarrassment.
But at least you didn't give her the mom stare.
I did. You missed it.
Killed somebody earlier. You were like, I will. Right. I was. I don't want to.
All right, go for it. You're skeptical of entrepreneurship.
Yes, I am a 9-to-5er right now. I think content creation is my exit strategy.
I can see that.
At the same time, you know, I've always found myself in this interesting dynamic caught between two things, like two contrasts. I grew up in a blended family. I was on my first plane when I was 5 by myself, but that experience let me have the courage to board another plane to Brazil, where I knew no one, had no money, didn't speak the language, but it was probably one of the best decisions that I made in my life. I want to have the flexibility to do more of that. And I think this is the way to do it. At the same time, I'm really struggling with figuring out how to make it tangible. I'm obviously, I think, attracted to this space, entrepreneurs. It comes up in all my profiles. I took your DISC assessment. I took like 50 others too. But I don't know how to make it tangible.
It's the hair for me.
I said, you're so cute. It's the voice and the personality for me. Let me ask you a question. If you were offered a job that allowed you the flexibility to travel when you wanted to, would you choose it over entrepreneurship?
Don't cuss is what I thought in my brain. Yes.
Go be a flight attendant.
As long as I
Delta
could,
is actually actively hiring right now.
Yeah. Don't feel pressured in the entrepreneurship.
You don't have to do entrepreneurship is not the only ladder to success. It's not.
It's not going to make everybody happy.
And I just literally saw an ad for Delta hiring flight attendants, and it will also allow you the flexibility to do it. But if there's something inside of you that says, but wait, I actually might want to be an entrepreneur, you can't just wing it. We got to start somewhere. Like, I believe a little bit about content from you just because your personality is fun. When you say content creation, like what kind?
videos. I think I translate better in videos than I do writing.
Well, you mean creating your own content for yourself?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I actually have had, I think, so I've had this, my whole purpose is to matter. That's really all I want. And I know in order to do that, I need to reach scale. So, like, I don't know if anybody has seen the movie American Sniper, but at the end of the movie, they show real clips of his funeral procession. And there are people with signs, and they have to have it at the stadium because this person in the world impacted so many people that they had to have his funeral at a stadium.
Okay.
And that's what I want for my life. I want to help people, be of service, and I want to matter.
So
She's gonna
you
be
matter.
dope when she figures it out. Like, yo, whatever you do for the world, it is going to be absolutely amazing because I just like feel the passion. I feel somewhat of an innocence, a humble kind of like I feel comforted even when you talk. You're gonna be like I don't know what's in the way. I don't know if it's been a past experience, a person in your life, someone that told you that you weren't something, but you were. Once you truly just, because I think you know what you want to do, but you're afraid of something. And again, I don't know what it is, but I'm here to tell you that you are gifted. You have it's something on the inside of you, and I don't know if everybody just feels it when she talks. It's not like you're like yelling and screaming and have the hardest voice, but like you command a certain presence when you speak.
Yeah. You already matter. And so because that was something that you said you aspire to do, you need to know that. We're born with the birthright of mattering. You matter, right? What you actually are chasing is impact. And there's a difference. And so I want to use those words very, very carefully because you matter already. What you're looking for is to create mass impact. You want to be remembered for something great. And you can do that whether you work a job or are an entrepreneur. There are hundreds, maybe even thousands of entrepreneurs who are not chasing impact, right? They're chasing money. So they won't need stadiums to pack out their funerals and things like that. And then there are people who are politicians and civil rights activists and people who are in office who will pack out stadiums, right? DMX mattered. He will need a large venue for his homegoing service, right? You matter. So what I would like for you to do is call me tomorrow. And I'm going to work with you personally. And I think I have an opening in my company for you to get your feet wet and see if you like something in content effective immediately.
Yeah,
if you want to do that.
Too. I'll set up a call. Because I don't even like, I'll definitely take you on because you have something extremely special that I can't even describe in words. You have something extremely, extremely special. So I'll let kind of Donni take the lead and I'll be available too. Because I know once you figure that thing out, oh my gosh.
Yep.
Once you get a vision, and tonight, obviously, I want you to spend some time just creating a vision for yourself. Yo, what do I want to be?
Mm-hmm.
I know I want to matter, and I know I matter, but just get some sort of idea in your head. Do you see yourself with the largest nonprofit in the world? Do you see yourself speaking in front of stadiums? Do you see yourself, on some sort of YouTube platform or something? Just try to create some sort of vision, and don't stress yourself if it doesn't come. And this is for everybody. It's okay not to know what your purpose in life is. It's okay. What's not okay is not trying to find out.
Yep.
It's okay if you don't know. That's totally fine. But it's a responsibility of all of us, to at least do our very best to just lay there in the bed and close our eyes and just see what it might look like. And it might be black and you don't see anything for a while. But we just try.
Yep.
We just try.
Thank you.
Oh,
very welcome.
Absolutely. This was an amazing evening, boot camp, podcast. Did y'all enjoy yourselves? This is
We're
good.
like,
This is good.
You got 14 hours in this room.
Yeah.
14 hours in. Who traveled to be here? Oh my God. Do y'all hold on. Who traveled to be here? Keep the hands up. Like this is like 98% of the room.
100%. 100%.
100% of the room?
No, I'm just saying, you're 100% right. That is 98%.
I'm like, nah, because I don't see the people over here. You guys, everybody.
I think one of the first stops, too. How many Houston?
Oh, we got to get to Houston.
One of the first podcasts.
Yeah, who's got the venue in Houston?
You got a venue
We can't go back to that place.
You get us a venue?
It was hot.
I got a venue? Oh,
okay.
Let's go.
You hear this?
How many people does it hold?
Way too big.
Way too big for who? Well, who we talking about? What you mean?
We are still, Houston has no more quarantine rules, huh? Y'all, hold on. Texas just also released their gun rules.
Don't try to breeze over the fact that you didn't believe that we could pack out 1,200.
Well, no, I was thinking 50 because I thought, 50? COVID.
Definitely not 50.
COVID. Okay, so yeah, Grooves, it is. Now, let me ask you this. Who's ready to be an ambassador for us to come to your city? Meaning you can put people in a room.
Yo, first off.
Oh, you can put some people in
Arizona?
the room?
I mean, yeah.
That doesn't matter. You can put people in the room. We are going on tour this summer.
We're going on tour.
This summer. Social Proof
yo,
Podcast.
we're going to get 1,200. I feel like we can do this.
We can get 1,200 people. We can get 1,200 people.
It's a lot depending on how you look at it.
First of all, you've done 500 plus people.
That's a fact.
Already. I come from an industry of building events.
Exactly.
We can get 1,200 people, but we have to pick the right city.
Yeah.
Houston, we should be able to get.
Houston, I feel like with the right. Here's the thing: the right promotion. We put a bunch of money into ads. We find a big name that's going to be there to be on the podcast. 1,200.
I have ideas. Okay, so we are, you guys. If you are,
huh?
No. People have to sit down.
Yeah, I got to sit down.
Yeah, people have to sit down. We don't run slave shows here. We are not concerts. Okay, so if you guys are listening to us at home or viewing us on YouTube, we are officially ready to start touring. Like touring. And we need, if you guys can just put in the comments wherever you're listening to this at, if you have an audience, and let's just say you can start off with at least 50 people in your city, I want you to comment
You're not coming for 50.
First of all, if you can put 50 people, okay, Shans, just roll with me here, because if they can do 50, we can do the rest.
Oh, for sure.
Right? So if there's a market where you as an individual feel like you can put 50 people in a room, definitely leave your email address and...
Leave their email address where?
Oh, they're not going to leave in the comments. Just your email address.
They're not going to put their email address in the comments.
Oh, they do it all the time now.
No, they don't.
Yes,
their
they do.
email address in the comments?
Jen?
Do you see email addresses in comments?
Trey
does Trey, have you ever seen someone leave their email address in the comments? That would be ridiculous. You'll get your life.
Have you ever seen somebody leave their email address in the comments on YouTube?
And she replies to all, I reply.
That's how you gonna do me, Trey? You didn't hear me through the wall? You didn't hear me through the wall? I can find an email address. You've never seen an email address on YouTube in the comments?
Oh, man. No, because you don't even know, because I'm in the comments on a regular basis. We got to wrap this thing up. Yeah,
okay.
We got to wrap
Anyway,
this
so scrap all of the last 3 minutes of what I just said. If you want us to come to your city, just comment in the comments wherever you're watching this, your city. David Shans and myself, Donni Wiggins, are excited to come to your city and bring social proof on the road.
Yes, and in the meantime, I need you to go to the Facebook group, because there's a lot of discussions in there. Social Proof Podcast on Facebook, okay? Well, we got to pay some bills.
Definitely have to pay some bills.
Okay, so this episode of the Social Proof Podcast is brought to you by The Morning Meetup, themorningmeetup.com. How many people here is in the morningmeetup.com? What happened to claps? What are we doing? How many people are in the claps? Come on, y'all. They can't see your hands. Hey, you don't hear the claps, all right? TheMorningMeetup.com, man. TheMorningMeetup.com. The only community that gathers every single morning, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the betterment of entrepreneurship. It is an amazing community. Hundreds of entrepreneurs are gathering every single day, and we're reading a book together. We're in a book club every single month. We're reading a different book, and sometimes we read 2 in a month. So we literally I've read 0 books last year. This year, I've read 6. So we're on 6? Are we on 6? We're on 6 books so far, and it's absolutely amazing. So go to themorningmeetup.com. And just for you, this is a special deal, okay? I'm going to let you try us out for just $1. All right? I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know when you're watching this, but it's a special deal just for our Social Proof listeners. You can go to themorningmeetup.com, try it out for $1. If you like us, stay. If you don't, no obligation, you can leave. Okay, so go to themorningmeetup.com. I'll see you in the morning.
You don't give out your phone number anymore.
Let me give y'all my phone number real quick. That was good. Thank you.
You're
the best coach in the world.
Yeah.
All right, while I find it.
Are you serious?
What? I forgot my number. And this is my real number because of my phone.
I have your number.
It's 404-737-5800. 4935. And I do reply though. 40, not all the time, but I do. 404-737-493. I don't want to lie, but I do see, I'll be chopping it up with people. 404-737-4935. Text me.
All right, you guys. And this episode is also brought to you by Post to Paid. It is the dopest community where I help service-based entrepreneurs. That means coaches, consultants, thought leaders, service providers, generate content effortlessly to post on your social media 3 times a day. How do I do that? Did you ask me that question, David? How do I do it?
Yeah, how do you do that, Donni?
I do it by sending text messages directly to your phone 3 times a day. I will actually, me personally, send you a text message with a prompt of something engaging to say on social media, to post on social media, because I specialize in conversations that sell. And I will send you a conversation that will sell to your phone directly, and it's just $37 a month. Do you know for $1.23 a day, I can help you change your engagement, your sales activity, and ultimately the success of your business through
That's
content?
amazing. Tell me more.
You can text me to get on that list. The words POST to paid, POST to paid at 404-737-2767, the phone number that I know by heart, 404-737-2767. And I, too, respond directly from my own cell phone. And then you can also join me in the dopest community for coaches and consultants. If you are a person who has information that you want to market and sell and get clear on as a coach or a consultant, course creator, thought leader, you need me. But you only need me if you're ready for the type of coach that is straight to the point. We're not pacifying. We're not kumbayaing. We are creating programs and making money. You go straight to www.sixfigureedu.com. That's 6 spelled out, SIX, figureedu.com. Schedule a team and see if your concept qualifies.
That's good. That's good.
Good
Okay.
stuff.
All right, y'all. Clap it up. Clap it up, man. Clap it up, man. That wraps up the third Content Creation Bootcamp. Okay. We're at creatorsbootcamp.com. And by the time you're seeing this, we should have another one coming up. Okay. So we are out of here. Do me a favor. Go get you some social proof, meaning I want you to go build something. Build something big, but I want you to document the process and document the journey so that you're interrupting my close.
Wait, because you can't close just yet, guys. What y'all don't know, or what you do know, actually, this is David's first time back on the scene since becoming a brand new father. So in this room, can we just on a count of 3 say, welcome back, Big Dave? 1, 2, 3. Welcome back, Big Dave.
Pierre was like, there's no way I'm calling him Big Dave. He said Dave.
Dave. Okay, Dave, whatever. Welcome back. We are so happy to have you back. Like, I actually felt a void. We haven't filmed anything in a month.
Yeah, we back. We're right back.
We
Back in
lit,
the
y'all.
streets.
You can close out now.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. It's not going to feel the same. But do me a favor. Go get you some social proof, okay? Meaning you build something, document the process, but I need you to go back to your community and teach other people how to build it, okay? We are out of here. I'll see y'all in the morning. Peace.